I checked the figures. Figures don't lie. And the highest amount that I have personally paid as a Canadian RN in taxes is $10,030. It shocked you? Don't be shocked here though. And I know you have a lot of questions. That was the same way that I had question when I got that particular payslip. And that same month, the 910 was also deducted. So add that together and know how much was cut off from the the total pay for that month. It's really heavy. Somebody's already thinking, we and also fella went to do so many overtime. Don't rush. Hold up. We are going somewhere. If this feels to you like what you like to watch or what you like to hear more about, in today's video, I'm going to be digging into all those questions. How much does Canadian RN earn? What is the take home as a Canadian RN? How much do I get per hour? What is the entry level pay? Don't worry, we are going to be dissecting everything. You already know how we do it on this channel. We're keeping it real and we're keeping it factual. Anything Osufela is saying, there is a proof to back it up. If this looks to you like what you like to watch, continue watching this video, click on the subscribe button and remember to like this video. Let's get into the video of today. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If today is your first time of coming across my video, Ifeoluwa Olowofela is my name. I am a Canadian RN and I film from the country of Canada. If you are a returning subscriber, I say thank you so much for always coming back to watch my video. If you are a new subscriber here or you're very new or you're seeing my video for the first time, I can assure you of something. You would get value in this video. I do not just sit down to make video. I want my video to create an impact. I also want you to have value from the video, and that is exactly what we're going to get today. Without further ado, let us get into the business of today. Today I'm going to like to start with the entry level pay for RNs in, I think I have like 5 provinces here. It is important for us to know that there are 10 provinces in Canada. I do not have all the information of the entry level pay. This is what by far as of now that I'm able to get. As I get more, I will let us know. And if you also know it, please kindly put it in the comment section, or you're a nurse that is in that province and I do not mention your province, please kindly put it in the comment section. I also want this video to be like a learning curve for us all, so that other people finding this video can find more value even when they go to the comment section. So perhaps if there's anything I miss out that please feel free to put it in the comment section respectfully. I am a very big fan of community and I'm a very big fan of what we can learn from each other. So because that is my province, yeah. So for Alberta, the entry level for graduate nurses and RNs at level 1 is $39.21 per hour. Graduate nurse, no, I think graduate nurse is even 36 or 35. Pardon me, please. That 39.21 is for RN at level 1. That's step 1. Graduate nurses is 35 or 36 that they get per hour. It will have a point, but I don't know the point. So that 39.2 is because that is the entry level. You can get up to 52.7 in Alberta, and this is how you can get it. You can give them what we call a recognition of previous experience. So perhaps you are an IEN from Nigeria, from Ghana, from your own country, and you've had experience in nursing. You are expected to fill a form, give it to the HR. The HR will process this form. You calculate your hours together, get those hours to the HR. They will calculate and put you on the step. But the highest step is about step 9 now, or level 9, and that is when you can get, I think that is 51.46 or something. Then you can also get up to 52.7 max as RN in Alberta, because you can also claim money back for your bachelor's. So if you have a bachelor's, you are entitled to about $2.70 or thereabouts that will be added to your money every month once you are able to put in your BSc results. That is for Alberta. We're going to move to other. For Manitoba, it is $39.23 as entry level. For Ontario, it is $37.93 at entry level. For Saskatchewan, it is $38.58 at entry level. For New Brunswick, it is $36 at entry level, but you can get as high as 45 CAD per hour, because when you bring in a recognition of previous experience, you are able to get between 43 to 45 CAD an hour afterwards. So now that we have covered the broad entry level for some of the provinces. Like I said, if you know the other provinces, please put it in the comment section for nurses like us to learn more about it. So moving on, we're going to be talking about the take homes. People have asked me several, what is the take home for nurses in Canada? Honestly, I will tell you that I cannot particularly tell you that this is my own take home. Not even for security reasons or personal reasons, just because I honestly don't know. I mean, I can give you a range, but I can't tell you that this is exact money I take home in March, this is exact money I take home in January, because we are paid bi-weekly. And because we are paid bi-weekly, sometimes in a month you can get paid 3 times. It depends on how long that month is. It depends on what you do in that month. Also, so it depends on a lot of factors. But I can give you a range. Now, the range will be between like at least per pay period, which is a 2 weeks. If there is too much tax, at least you should be able to get like $2,000 at least. Like if you're full-time, please, I'm going to be talking based on full-time. For part-time people, they're able to pick up more shifts, they're able to do more extra hours, so their money may also differ, because like I said, what you take home, there is a lot of things that affect what you take home. So I'm just saying, for someone that does not do overtime, they are just full-time, they get their full-time regular hours, they should be able to get at least $2,000 after all the deductions, please. They should be able to get at least $2,000 home on a 2 weeks basis. Then the other 2 weeks, and that's another $2,000. That's rounding up to $4,000 at the average. At the average, a nurse should be able to make that in Canada. So if you are doing overtime, say you do 1 or 2 overtime within a pay period, then you should be able to get up to $4,000, $4,500, even $5,000 if you do 1 to 2 overtime. Like if you're able to get at least close to $4,000 if you do 1 overtime. If you do like 2 overtime, you get up to $4,500, $5,000 after all the deductions. So if you're able to do 1 to 2 overtime plus your full-time hours in so that would be like 2 to 4 overtime in a month, then you are looking at, say, you're getting from $8,000 to $10,000 after your deductions in a month, in a whole 30 days period. So those are the ranges I can by far give you, because like I said, the money, there are a lot of factors on it. So I'm going to be breaking down those factors that can affect your pay period or your permanent pay, or what you get in your bank account now. So the first one will be that we operate the roster on a 12 weeks rotation. In some rotation, you do more shit. In some rotation, you do less shit. Don't get confused. I was also very confused. Even till now, I'm still confused. But at least I'm able to get a grasp of it. Like, I'm better now. So, in the 12 weeks that you do more shit, of course, that is more money. In the 12 weeks that you do less shit, that is less money. So what they expect you to do ideally is that if it's in a 12 weeks rotation and you have less shifts, you are supposed to pick up extra if there is extra, because for my place of work, we don't really have much extra. We have a lot of contracts and overtime stuff like that. So you're supposed to pick up extra if you have, to balance up that particular less pay period. Another thing that can hinder how much you get is orientation. During orientation, I do 12 hours ideally, but during orientation, I am only working for 8 hours. So I'm only being paid for 7.75. The remaining 15 is for break. So that money will be affected because I'm supposed to be paid for 11.08, but I'm paid for 7.75 when I'm doing orientation. So orientation can also affect your pay slip per pay period. Another thing that can affect your payment per pay period is like your entry level. Are you in level 1? Are you in level 2? Are you in level 3? Are you in level 4? So if you are comparing salary and somebody in level 9 that is earning $52 or $51.46 is talking that, oh, I made 3.5, you might not be able to account for the same money because your money is different. So those are the things that can basically affect your pay. Another thing that is very crucial that we need to know is that there are deductible pay periods and there are non-deductible pay periods. So for instance, if your pay period falls within the first of a month, so let's say your pay period is between 15th, or let me do this, between say 18th to the first of another month. Once there is first in that pay period, like any first of any month, those are your deductible pay period. And your deductible pay period, you get less money. Your non-deductible pay period, which is anything that it doesn't have first in it, like there is no first of that month in that particular pay period, those are your non-deductible pay period. So your non-deductible pay period, you get more money. Your deductible pay period, you get less money. I know it might be a bit confusing. Honestly, I was like that. I would advise that if you have questions or clarity or you have anything at all, put it in the comment section respectfully and I will be sure to provide more clarity on your question. Now we're going to move on to things you should know as a Canadian RN that will be present in your payslip. At least if you work with the government, it will be present in your payslip. That is what I'll be breaking down to you. I might not be able to mirror my laptop to show you what is there, but I would edit it such that I'm able to show them on the screen for us to have better understanding. Another thing that is also very important and crucial for us to know is that you're not going to, all the deductions you get in a month, say for example, if you make $5,000 within a pay period and your deduction is $2,500 or $3,000, just an example, don't roll your eyes here, but sometimes you cannot be like that though, because sometimes they over deduct and they under deduct, and when they over deduct, you're able to claim those on back in tax returns. So the total deduction for that month is not just taxes. There are two things. You have taxes and you also have deductions. I'll give us an example here. Now for this pay period, I'm not going to be very explicit about some things, but for this one I open right now, for this current pay period, this one I have right now, the taxes that I have, the taxes that was actually ideally removed was $10,030, and then the deduction was $910. Now what makes up deduction? What makes up deduction is your dental, extended healthcare family, basic life, long-term disability, short-term disability, dental adjustments, things like that make up your deduction. Also, in addition to what makes up your deduction is honor fee. United Nurses of Alberta, they have their honor fee that they charge every pay period. In fact, it also differs. Some pay period I pay, look, this one I paid $99. Let me look at it very, yes, 99.06 is what I pay for this particular pay period. Some other pay period I pay 91, some I pay 92. I don't even know why it is fluctuating. I think those are one of the things we need to discuss with the union. You have to be able to unionize this. You say you're a union, then be able to unionize your figure. If you're going to be taking $80 from me, then let it be $80. Not that today you take 82, tomorrow you take 85. So basically, those are what makes up your deduction in a particular pay period. Under the deductible pay period. Remember I said that there are two of them. We have the deductible pay period and the non-deductible pay periods. Now that is for deduction. Then you also have local authority pension plan. That is also part of deduction. You also have there's another one there. There is CPP, that's Canada Pension Plan, which is non-negotiable. If you're a full-time person, you are going to pay all those things. If you're not a full-time, there are some things that you will be exempted from paying because you don't have those benefits. I think sometimes it even pays to do part-time and casual, to avoid paying a lot of money. But I hope that this money that we're paying now will work for us in the future. That is just my sincere hope and prayer. EI, employment insurance, is also part of the deduction. Even if you are say, I will not give birth again, no, I will not be pregnant again, no, they will take that EI because those that will be pregnant will collect something. That is how they do it in Canada. Sorry, welcome to Canada, the land of taxes. So those are what make up your deduction. So there is tax, and let me open another pay period so that I can show us something. So for this particular pay period, the tax that was taken was $2,699.15. That was the tax that was taken, and my deduction was $877.27. So if we add all those together, that is the remaining amount is what I will get as my take home. But all the deductions are not just taxes. There is tax and there is deduction. The taxes is the one that the government will take. Deduction are those honor fee, extended life care, disabilities. I am not disabled. I don't know why they're taking it, but that's how they take it. They say it's mandatory. I've given up. So that is that one about that. So let me now explain to us things that we need to know in our. So when you get a particular pay period, look at the top of your pay period. Very important. You will see your pay begin date. You will see your pay end date. It should be 2 weeks ideally, and you have to calculate what you did within that 2 weeks. Is it correlating with what I'm paid? You have to check, because sometimes they miss payments. I kid you not. Sometimes they miss payments. I was randomly going through my pay slip one time like that last year or this year, and I discovered that a whole 100 hours was not paid to me because it was my orientation, and they said they were going to split the payment into, I think, 50% so that it doesn't take too much taxes, and they ended up not paying the money. They forgot totally. Thank God I checked. If not, that is how the whole money would have gone, because that 100 hours was over $5,000. Although the taxes that came with it, I almost cried, but I'm over that. So yes, you have to check each pay period to be sure that you are totally paid for that pay period. And if you do an overtime, if you miss your break, if you miss your coffee breaks rather, you are paid for it. There's something you need to learn from me. I wasn't doing that, and I think I'll start doing that now. Any OT you do, any coffee break you mix, please and please go and get a jotter to write it down. Because what I discovered is that sometimes the accountant or the admin person comes to take up, there's a note we will sign that I did overtime, I missed my coffee break. Sometimes she comes to take it up before the next pay period to calculate now, and then by the time you check, you are not paid for it. So if you have a record, you can remind her that on so day I was not paid for it and I did overtime. But if you don't have a record, because by the time you start saying, I think it's 21, I think it's 25, even she might not be able to remember. So it's always good to have your own documentations for this day. Otherwise, your money is gone. Then there's another thing that is very important. After checking the date, make sure the date is correct. Make sure your title is correct as well. You are going to have your orientation. If you're on orientation, you are going to have your shift premiums. So if you do weekend duties, you have weekend premium. I think that's about $2 or thereabouts. If you do night duties, it is $5 extra per hour that you do a night shift as Canadian RN. I can't talk of UK or US, but I'm talking as a Canadian RN. It is $5. Although I personally feel that $5 per hour, I don't know, I need my sleep more than it, but again, those are things we do as a nurse. We just have to sacrifice those things and balance everything up. I am more of a day person than a night person. So when you check all of that, you check your weekend premiums, are they correct? You check all of that. Then the taxes area is where you have the CIT, Canadian Income Tax. You will see it as CIT on your pay slip. It means Canadian Income Tax. That is the tax that they are going to remove from that particular pay period.
Where's all your money gone, Daddy?
Taxes.
Those are parts of the deductions that are on your pay slip that I feel that we must know. Then you have your honor dues. You have the local authority pension plan. I have to ask them a question. We already have CPP, Canadian Pension Plan. Now we have local authority pension plan. Why am I paying two pension plans? Why am I paying two pension plans? One is okay. One pension plan is okay, and when I asked that, okay, am I going to be able to get the both together? Let's say I retire tomorrow. They couldn't give me a definite answer. So I am like, honestly, this our abroad there. We thank God for life and everything, but again, I feel there are a lot of things that are hidden in these taxes, and because of that, I have somebody that is coming to tell us more about taxing and taxes next month. Make it a date. The flyer will be out soon. Then that is for that one. And also this is ability part. I don't know, but that's okay. Then for now, let me give you an example. For the CPP now, Canada Pension Plan, they removed in a particular pay period 476.55 is what was taken from Canadian Pension Plan. Then under the local authority pension plan, they went ahead to take 755.08 in that particular pay period. That's over $1,200 already in deductions for pension plan. Two pension plan, over 1,200 already in deduction for pension plan. I honestly cannot wrap my head around this. And I think the more you make, the more they charge. That's what I feel, because some months I don't pay up to this for the pension plan. The more you make in that month, if you go and do 5 overtime in that particular month, your pension plan as a full time, they can charge up to 1,000 in one of the pension plan. And remember, we have 2 pension plans, so we have to really be tactful about our dealings and our everything in this abroad. So that is that about that. Then if you go beneath your pay slip, you are going to see what we have, what we call you are going to have a SICKBANK. Very important for you to listen to this space. We're going to have a start bank. You're going to have a float bank. For SICKBANK, they are not paid out. So if, for example, now I have my SICKBANK currently, not this one, this is not my current SICKBANK, but on this pay period, my SICKBANK is 43.61. I think I have over 60 hours for SICKBANK right now. My hair is falling into my mouth. So I think I have over 60 for now for SICKBANK. So if you don't use your SICKBANK, perhaps you are very good and strong and working, you don't use your SICKBANK, nobody will pay you out. I'm just telling you. Then for the start bank, that also is not paid out. Float bank is paid out. What I have for float bank currently now is 7.75. So if I don't use it at the end of the year, which will be more than that at the end of the year, they are going to pay me out on that. Some union, I don't know the particular union, but honor, United Nurses of Alberta, they don't pay out start bank. Some union pay out STARBANK, maybe the LPNs, I'll find out, because she mentioned it to me, that's the customer care agent, that some unions pay out STARBANK, but it's not applicable to United Nurses of Alberta. They don't pay out STARBANK. No it and no peace. You also have 3 days in a year that is your personal day. It's not your sick day, personal day. So for example, you want to go for a professional development course, you need time out, take your personal day. You want to go for a meeting or a program that is very important to you, because nobody asks you for documents or whatever you do with your personal day. Nobody cares, but you are entitled to, because if you don't use it, it is not paid out and it doesn't roll over. You have 3 in a year. You have 3 in a year. If you don't use it, it doesn't get paid out and it doesn't roll over. But you are going to be paid 8 hours. So for example, if you're a 12 hours worker like me and you take a personal day, you are entitled to be paid for 8 hours of that 12 hours. So if you want to forgo your 4 hours, it's okay. Nobody will query you. But if you also want to get that 4 hours back, you can discuss with your manager, liaise with your manager that I would like to come and do my 4 hours on so day. If they have space, they will let you know. If they don't have space, they will let you know. But bottom point, you are going to get your full-time hours for that time that you take that personal day. I just thought so. Let us know that we also have personal day that we can use. And then of course you also have your sick time, and your sick part time you are paid fully. So for instance, if you are sick, you are paid, and your shift is 12 hours for that period, you are paid for the whole 12 hours. And what else am I missing? There's also something, if you're exchanging shifts, you can exchange shifts. But if you're exchanging shift, let's say for in a pay period, you're supposed to work for 7 times. You exchange shift with somebody to make it 8 times. When they pay for that pay period, they'll pay you for 8 times because you're the one that did that shift. But if the person is not paying back your shift, and you're supposed to do 8 shifts for that period that the person is doing back your shift for you, and the person does one of your shift, that means in that pay period you're going to get paid for 7 shifts only, not for 8, because you didn't do that one. Is that making sense? Is it clear? At any point in time that you miss anything, or you are not clear about anything, write it down after watching this whole video. If I've not answered the question, because I'm a very spontaneous person, I just talk as it comes. Write it in the comment section for me. I will gladly answer it. I think that is all that we need for now. That is all the information that I have. So if any other person has something, I'm glad for us to add it. And don't forget that like I said, we're going to have our tax whatever coming up next month. Also, I would just like to throw in like a general advice to us as also when it comes to Canada or into any other of these developed countries. It is okay for us to be broken, tired, because anytime I see my pay slip, any pay period is always a sad time for me. I run talk. My husband said we knows. I talk any pay period, because I just feel like, why are you deducting this much? But it's okay for us to also give ourselves grace. This is a new country and we are going to settle, but sometimes it may not be a lot. And as it's not a lot, if we're able to pay our bills, eat, then let's give thanks to God. So as we get the grasp of the country, we're able to do more, have businesses, expand and all that. And also you can look into maybe cutting your hours. For example, for me now, once I have some time, I'll cut my hours, maybe do casual so that I can pick up some overtime. And when you even pick up overtime, they still collect the money. So honestly, I don't know the trick to this clinical nursing. I feel that travel nursing, or maybe working from home, those ones that you are project manager or something may be able to pay you better than what clinical will offer. But for clinical nursing, if you are coming to clinical nursing because of money, I don't know. I don't think that's the right place for you. If you know that I want a lot of money, clinical nursing is not the right place for you. Because clinical nursing, how much do you get paid? And you get worn out, and how much are we talking about this morning? Anyways, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an awesome time. I want to believe that we've all learned something very, very crucial today. Don't forget, I like to always read your amazing comments. It gives me all the ginger to come back again. I like to read from you, so drop those amazing comments for me. Drop your observations, drop your questions. I am super happy to read from you. Thank you so much for coming again to the channel. If you are yet to subscribe or like this video, let me know why now. I want to know why. Like this video, subscribe. I'll see you some other time.